Hello everyone, and welcome to my reaction to Jujutsu Kaisen chapter 250, a big milestone chapter number-wise. I haven't heard anything about this week's chapter. I didn't get any glimpses of anything, due in large part to the crackdown on the leaks over in Japan. Though they're still here, so, we're still getting them, and still kind of around the same time we were getting them before, so I don't know. Maybe it's just somehow not a very big chapter, which would be shocking given what happened last week, but who knows what'll happen. I'm gonna be curious to see if other people can use the swords in Yuta's domain. And also, where is Maki? We set up Maki being able to pass through domain barriers effortlessly. So having her run in and out of Yuta's domain here sounds like it would probably be a really good strategy. Of course, there's only one way for us to find out. And before we get into that, as always, if you haven't already, definitely be sure to like and subscribe. I'd like to try and hit at least 100 likes on this week's reaction. Now then, without any further ado, let's get right into the chapter, shall we? So let's see if this will be the third week in a row where, oh no, looks like TCV's looting it normally. This is good. Okotsu Yuta's all-encompassing, unequivocal love allows him to choose any one of his copied techniques to imbue the barrier with as a domain's sure-hit effect. A very good domain ability. The special grade's domain revealed. Now, how does it work? Well, that's what we're finding out right now. His remaining copied techniques are scattered randomly among the katanas within his domain. Is he able to sense which ones they are? Only Okotsu can utilize them. Oh, okay. But not even he knows which katana contains which technique until he grasps it for the first time. I see. While each katana can only be used once, their number is infinite. So he hasn't copied... Alright. So there's not a singular representation of each technique that he's copied. It's just each one is a one-time usage of the technique. I see. And this is sort of the trade-off, is the lack of certainty as to what exactly he's going to be able to use. Oh, he has Driv's technique go in with all the little domain Shikigami, the little mini Rikas, but it seems like none of them can hit Sukuna due to his Hollow Wicker Basket, or are they just simply choosing to go around him? Yuji comes in there on the side, throws some punches at Sukuna. He raises up his free left arm to block. He feels his soul getting tugged on. Rika comes down from above. Sukuna manages to dodge the overhand. But then something hits Sukuna in the back. I see. So they were just kind of circling around him there. Interesting. And now they hit him in the back, and they cut him. A technique applying an inviolable barrier to his Shikigami's path? Driv's technique was really good. Is he fucking floating with... Yeah, sky manipulation. God, I love Sendai. As he pulls the sky. After my fight with Gojo Satoru, not only am I still unable to expand my domain, the effects of my reverse curse technique remain sluggish. At this point, my total cursed energy likely matches the cursed brat. Which one? I imagine you're talking about Yuta. You're probably matching Yuta, given that you started off with twice as much cursed energy as him, at least. On top of that, maintaining Hollow Wicker Basket renders me unable to use the world-bisecting Dismantle after extending the target of my technique. Okay, so you can't use it then. That's part of one of the conditions. And then, oh my god, we're getting a fastball special. Oh my god, Rika grabs Yuji, he folds his arm over his chest, both of his arms, to become aerodynamic, and he gets chucked at Sukuna. He's doing a fucking flying dropkick, and Yuta's pulling the sky down around him as like a sheet barrier, as a shield. That's really good. So Sukuna blocks Yuji's kick, he grabs Yuta's sword, he manages to block both of their attacks, but you can see his soul is still wavering a little there. There's this. It's the same logic behind his effective attacks against the Patch-Face Cursed Spirit. he can sense it. He's aiming directly for the barrier between my soul and Fushiguro Megumi's. He's arousing Fushiguro Megumi's soul that was submerged by the bath, and disrupting the harmony between this body and myself. Every time I take a blow from this brat, my cursed energy output falls, and my control of this body weakens. They'll just keep chipping away until I can no longer maintain Hollow Wicker Basket, which reveals the real risk. Their desire to use the angel's technique, Jacob's Ladder, to eradicate the cursed object within Fushiguro Megumi. Yeah, Sukuna bats away Yuta's sword there. Oh no, he grabs onto Yuji by the collar and he's hitting him with cleave. Don't move. Is that gonna work on Sukuna in his current state? I don't know. Is that a bit of blood coming out of Yuta's mouth? A little bit? Is he coughing a little? Is Yuta strong enough to use cursed speech on a weakened Sukuna? Grabs the sword. Thin Ice Breaker. Manages to knock Sukuna back. Rika's coming in for a punch behind him. She slams into him. Knocks him back a little bit. Goes for a fucking double hammer fist. It connects. He gets slammed down through a bunch of the structures here. Yuji and Yuta are both running after Sukuna. Sukuna... Oh, fuck, he's doing the thing Gojo was doing. And that he did a little bit. Where he grabs onto her, at least touches his right arm with his left. To send out a dismantle. Presumably one that's powered up a bit. They both get hit by it. Rika's still coming down from right up above Sukuna. He grabs Rika's fist, kicks her in the mouth, and then hits her with cleave. Obliterates her arm. If I don't make direct contact, I won't leave a fatal wound. Just as it was with him. Shout out to my boy Ryu. It's a good durability feat for Sukuna to go, oh, I meant to kill you with that. Not only that, I meant to cut you into 3 pieces, and all I managed to cut into you was 1 slash. It's a good durability feat. Although, I wouldn't say they surpass him in toughness. Oh my god. Ryu. You get so much hype. You get so much hype for just having, like, really impressive features. It's quite something. It's not just because of my diminished cursed energy output from the fight with Satoru Gojo either. All of the sorcerers that have shown up from Jujutsu High have extremely tight defenses. And then there's the Brat's reverse curse technique. Not to mention this domain itself. Its sure-hit effect is narrowed to apply to myself and only me. Was he capable of this from the beginning? Something like this requires a very sophisticated barrier technique. I see. That isn't something that would normally have an application outside of a domain clash, where you want your sure-hit effect to go over everything. But, yeah, I imagine he kind of got that from watching the Gojo fight. Just what have you all been up to this past month? Hard work and determination. We cheated. What does that mean, Yuta? Oh. If it weren't for the after effects of his battle with Gojo-sensei, we wouldn't have a second to spare to use our reverse curse techniques. He would have annihilated us in an instant. It pains me to admit it, but we're up against the strongest sorcerer right now. I don't even want to think about what will happen if we can't stop him here. Yeah, I can't even imagine what you guys will be able to do if you can't stop him here. The closest thing that I can imagine happening is Sukuna gets Malevolent Shrine back, but Hakari returns just in time to fight Sukuna through it, because his regeneration is even better than Gojo's, which means he should be able to tank Malevolent Shrine. Rika goes in. We've got our 3v1 going on here. They're just all unleashing an onslaught on Sukuna. Now, Sukuna, he had to raise up his arms to defend against Yuji and Rika. Yuta is going in for a stab while he's wide open. But what's that there? Is Sukuna going to strengthen his cursed energy right around that point to defend himself? What? The ink is already dry. He hits Sukuna in the face? Was that clairvoyance? What's happening inside the barrier? How did he learn Charles' technique? Did they have Yuta meet up with him so that he could copy his technique? Oh my god, so now he's got like the little itty bitty future sight and he just fucking socks Sukuna in the face right there. Holy shit. So then Yuji goes in. He does a palm strike. He does a force strike against Sukuna that seems to hit him in the chest. Rika hits him hard on top of the head. You know, is pushing him down to the ground, and Yuta's coming around at the side. 1. The Angel's Jacob's Ladder. 2. A space manipulation technique. 3. A technique that creates an inviolable barrier on the path of his Shikigami. 4. Cursed speech. 5. Clairvoyance. And the Limitless? No. He shouldn't be able to control it without the 6 eyes, but can Yuta copy the 6 eyes? That's the real question. Is a big part of why Gojo was so cracked with Limitless was because he had the 6 eyes. It made him way more efficient with using cursed energy with such a costly technique, and it made it much easier for him to understand and apply a technique that was so complicated. Yuta really wouldn't be able to do that unless he has both. But can he copy something like that? Because, I mean, cursed speech is technically part of Inumaki, and he's able to copy it. So would he be able to copy the 6 eyes? Has he played all his cards? Even Sukuna will be caught off guard by a technique he hasn't seen used, which means that will surely... Which is it? This is the one. He's dual-wielding, he runs in, he uses sky manipulation. As he sends the sword piercing forward, Sukuna grabs it. What technique has Sukuna not seen? I'm trying really hard to think. What would be one that he hasn't seen? So he grabs the sword. 2 hands, both hands. Cleave! Oh, they were right. Oh. Oh my god. Cuts his hands, cuts his face, cuts his eye. This is my... Bitten by his own fangs. Oh, that's so good. That's so good. He can use the technique, but the problem is that Yuta can't use the world-cutting slash because he doesn't know the conditions for it. We've already established that Yuta, we established in this chapter, is even if Yuta can copy the technique, that doesn't mean that he would meet the conditions to use it. If it's like a really complicated technique, if it has material components like Reggie's contract manipulation, so that wouldn't work. But here, he can still hit him with cleave. With, really good output because it's Yuta. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a real good one there. This was a really good chapter. This fight is so fucking good. It's so good. I've even seen people who didn't really like the end of the Gojo fight and post-fight stuff have been, quite liking the most recent chapters. So, well, I'm not going to say we're back, because we've been here for, the past year now. But, oh boy, things are looking good. Things are looking so good. But what did you guys think? Be sure to let me know down in the comments, because with that, that's all I've got for this week's reaction. If you guys enjoyed, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss any of my uploads. I do Jujutsu Kaisen chapter reactions and reviews every week that we get a new chapter. If you enjoy discussing Jujutsu Kaisen with other people, or you just enjoy the content I produce in this channel, I highly suggest you check out my Discord server. I have a link to that down in the description. thanks for watching. I'll see you guys around. Take care.